Howdy everyone, it's Hikiko. Thought I would treat you to a little filler content. Of course, I'm not trying to engage in any console wars. That doesn't necessarily interest me, but I did want to explain my reasoning for getting a Series X. And it's not for lack of trying. I did attempt to buy a PlayStation 5 on 6 separate occasions on Walmart.com, but I got trampled by the bot swarm like everyone else. I actually had one in my cart, and I was clicking. All my details filled out, but the site just kept crashing, and I'm not paying the scalper prices. And in retrospect, a lot of my decision making was based on the fear of missing out, the FOMO. And I stepped back and I said, what am I doing here? Do I really want a PlayStation 5? And the only justification I would have for wanting to buy one is getting PlayStation 4 games to play better. And that's it, really. I'm not too interested in the Demon's Souls remake. I think it's a frightening trend where Western developers are taking old Japanese IPs, putting their own spin on things. Sure, runs at a better frame rate and it's in 4K, but I think I've just never been a huge fan of remakes in general. I'd much rather explore new IPs or have developers taking risks and putting out new content into the world. So I will eventually play the Demon's Souls remake. Sure, eventually, when it comes down in price. I ain't paying $70. That's another trend I'm not too excited about. But I thought long and hard about this, and I said, you know, comparing the two systems, the PS5 and the Series X. The PS5, let's just be real, it's way too big. It's that big, okay? That wide. It's got these huge pop collar fins. You've seen that Seto Kaiba meme. It just doesn't look appealing to me at all. Like, let's take a look here. I'm gonna rip this out. Hi guys, you remember me? I'm the PlayStation 2. It's rectangular. It's got the nice purple blue gradient, okay? It's got the logo prominent there. It's got the logo prominently there, okay? You can put it either way and it still looks aesthetically pleasing. Okay, that's one of the best looking systems ever made in my opinion. The PS5, I don't even know who it's for, who thinks it looks good. I've never met a person who said, yeah, sure glad I got it because of how much space it takes up. So when I saw the PS5, that just kind of put me off. I'm like, maybe I'll just wait for a Slim. And that's probably when I'm gonna tap into the PlayStation 5 market. Let all those launch consoles with all the overheating issues, just let them go. I don't really care about the haptic feedback on the controllers. I mean, they tried to push that same meme with the Nintendo Switch and the HD Rumble. For me, I guess my hands are, I'm feeling blind or whatever you want to say. The sense blind, it doesn't matter. The PS3 launched without DualShock. I didn't give a shit. Anyways, I looked at the Series X and I had my friend David come over because he is the biggest Xbox stan there ever lived. And I used to give him a hard time, especially last generation with the Xbox One and the horrible launch scenario with the always online DRM, Force Connect integration and all that. And just for me, it's all about what can this system do that my PC can't do or the other systems? What sets it apart? And the most important thing about the Series X was its ability to play multiple generations of games. And we're not just limited to just the Xbox library anymore. Oh no, RetroArch has entered the scene. And that was extremely appealing to me because I have soft modded a lot of my systems over time. I've tried to expand the capabilities where the main companies have left us in the cold. Sony, sure, they've got PlayStation 4 backwards compatibility, But I'm still not hearing any of the good excuses out there for why we can't play PS1 or PS2, or hell, even some PS3 games. I'm not going to let them off that easy. There are some two-dimensional games, like why can't I play fucking Disgaea 3? Anyways, the Series X did appeal to me because of its backwards compatibility program. And once I learned about Game Pass and everything it was offering, they're offering all their first-party games as part of Game Pass for $15 a month. I had to think about it. I buy about a game a month. And I've bought a game a month as long as I can remember. And for, what, a fraction of the price? It's not $70. And sure, it is digital. You don't really truly own it. But I thought about it. A lot of the games I play are one and done. A lot of the cinematic games, a lot of the odd indie games, I usually play through them once and I move on because there's so much content out there nowadays. And the games I truly do love, I go out there, I'll buy the limited edition or the collector's, the limited run games, whatever. It's not a problem. I've been more selective in what I choose to buy. And the Series X appeals to me as an aging gamer, if you will. Instead of having to go out there and, I got to get this component cable for my PS2 and plug it into an OSSC and make sure all the timings are right and if I want scan lines or not, and just all that headache of trying to recapture the flame of being a retro gamer. And RGB modding and NES and HDMI modding a Dreamcast or getting the SD mod, just trying to do all these things just to make it more convenient for the modern era. Well, here comes the Series X. The Series X has 4 console generations natively, okay? Xbox 360, One X, and then Series X. Plus, it's got a huge library through Game Pass. So if you're interested in that, you can play all of last generation games, all the new stuff coming out, indie games in between. And then, on top of all that, now you can install RetroArch and have your entire retro library. And a lot of it runs great. Like I haven't had problems with NES or all the way up to PlayStation 1, flawless. PS2 was just introduced. There's some games that work great, others that need more work. Oh well, still more than what Sony's offering at the moment. And as I said, I don't want this to be Xbox versus Sony, because if anything, I'm more of a Sony loyalist. I've enjoyed all the Sony systems I've owned, but there comes a point as a gamer where I'm like, I'm getting too much clutter. I'm owning way too much stuff, and I'm going out of my way. I'm putting my neck out there just so I can play Xbox 360 or Dreamcast or what have you, and it's just tiresome. And the mindset that exclusives are going to save a system or define a system, Sony hasn't shown me anything for the PS5 on the horizon that I'm excited about, okay? I don't really care about God of War or Uncharted or Last of Us or what have you. I mean, they're fine if you enjoy those, but for me, a lot of the stuff I've enjoyed has come from third parties. And there's really no third-party company out there that's wanting to tie themselves down to just one system anymore. That's starting to fade, that mentality. And I think that anything I want to play is going to come out on the Series X and play just fine. You can complain all you want about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ubisoft. I don't care about that, okay? Is it going to run at least 60 frames per second? Good enough for me. I don't care about 4K all that much. I just want something that'll play nice without the headache, without having to search through and pull out discs and stuff. The digital library is honestly quite appealing. Just being able to sit back and get my game going. Because I've been through generations like the PlayStation 3 where I had to, and I kid you not, wait for almost a full day for a game to install and all the update patches to come through the slow pipeline of Sony servers. I'm done with that. I just want something that's going to take me there. Let me play. Let me manage my time efficiently as a gamer. And the Series X did appeal to me. Plus, it's so tiny. This thing is This thing is smaller than my PS2, okay? It's just this tiny little box. It's quiet. I can put it anywhere I want it and not have to worry about it. I got the Series X with the disk drive, so that's also cool too, that I can pop in Shadows of the Damned, or I can pop in Dead Rising 3 and just go. So, for the time being, I've chosen Series X as my console of choice, primarily because of opportunity. It was painless to get one, quite frankly. And I feel that as time goes along and there's further revisions of the PS5, I'll eventually get one. And maybe if they'll have some good games that I like come out. But for right now, I think the lines have blurred more than ever. And as a gamer, the cool shit's coming out everywhere, okay? The third party is everywhere. It's on PC, it's on Switch, it's on Series X, it's on PS5. You're going to have some fun no matter where you game, but I think at this stage of my life, Series X is where I want to be. Also, I got Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is cool. This reminds me a lot. This is cross-generational, meaning that I can put it in my Xbox One and then play it, or if I get the Series X, when I do, I put it in and then I get the upgraded version for free. That was really appealing to me. It also reminded me of, you guys remember Sneak King, the Burger King games up on the Xbox original? Little known fact, you could put Sneak King in an original Xbox and it would work, and you could put it in the 360 and you'd get the upgraded version. It wasn't just a backwards compatibility thing. You got the enhanced version, and that just took me back. I mean, this one runs at 20 frames per second on the base model Xbox One, but I'm still having a blast with it. It's an RPG, so it doesn't really bug me that the action is slowed down just a little bit, but I'm really looking forward. This will be my first Series X game. Anyways, guys, that was your filler content. I'm Hikiko. Please subscribe to the channel. Swery Files 3, Dark Dreams Don't Die, will be coming out before Christmas. I'll see you then.